Hello boys and girls, I'm Martin from wisecgartist and welcome in my new video. Today I'm gonna teach you how to model this kind of character in Blender. That's the quite basic shape, so it's gonna be quite easy to do even for beginners. So let's get started. First of all, you're gonna open Blender and we're gonna enable one add-on. So let's go to Edit, Preferences, and click Add-on tab and just type Build Tool. So just tick that box on, press here Save Preferences. So we can get started now. We're gonna start from the head, so Shift A, we're gonna add cube. Now we're gonna press Tab to go to the edit mode, and now let's gonna click your right mouse button and subdivide. Click it again, subdivide again, and one more time. Okay, so you got some extra faces, extra topology to work on. And now let's press 7 on your numpad to go to the top orthographic view. Let's enable X-ray mode, and now you're gonna press it your left mouse button and drag up to the middle to select all the verticals, and now press X and delete verticals. So you got like a half of this shape, and you're gonna go to the modifier tab, press it at range. You're gonna add mirror modifier, so add modifier, mirror, and enable clipping. So now we're gonna all working on one side, but that's gonna be mirrored on another side. Okay, so let's start. Let's turn the X-ray mode off and pressing 3 on your keyboard, or just go in here to select faces. Let's start selecting the faces. Let's from here, pressing and holding Control, select last one, select this one, still holding Control, and this one, and release Control bar, press Shift, select this face. Now press E to extrude, and holding Shift and move your mouse, just extrude only a little bit. Now select this face, holding Control, select last one, and so on. We're gonna select all the faces. Now we're gonna holding Shift, select now holding Shift, select this one, that one, holding Control this one, like so, and holding Shift this one, and holding Control in here. Okay, now we're gonna extrude that, pressing E, holding Shift, and move it like that. Now we're gonna select all the faces here, so holding Control, just selects all those faces. E for extrude, Shift for smooth, like that. And now 7 to go to the top orthographic view and just drag your mouse to select everything, and E to extrude our head, our hair. Now we're gonna select our eyes, so it's gonna be this one, that one. E for extrude, like that. Select our nose, E to extrude, and select our mouth, E to extrude only halfway, like that. Okay, let's turn the cavity on. Let's press that arrow here and this world, so we can see better what's going on. And then also what I like to do is just change the matte cap from here to something like this. We can see better. Okay, Now let's go back to the modifier tab. Add modifier, we're going to add the bevel modifier. As we add modifier, let's go to geometry and choose a patch, and also disable that clamp overlap, and now we have to change amount to 0.01. Okay, and just add some segments like so. So we got now round edges. Okay, so we got our head. Now I'd like to do just to move that head up. So select this object, G4 grab Z, and just hold your control. You're gonna snap to the grid a couple of times. Okay, let's press 1 on your keyboard, on your numpad, and just we're gonna add some torso. So Shift A, mesh, add another cube. Now we're gonna scale it along Z-axis. So as a Z, holding control, scale it like that, and we have to scale it down. So pressing 3 on your numpad, S for scale, Y for only for Y-axis, and holding control, scale it till now, something like this. Okay, now we can move that up. So G4 grab Z and just like that. Okay, so now we're gonna Control A to apply scale, and now going tab to edit mode, your mouse right button, and subdivide a couple of times like that. That's enough. I start selecting faces, but this time we're gonna select only those faces. E to extrude, and holding shift just extrude a little bit like that. Okay, so we've got our torso. What we like to do now to add some hands, so Shift A, mesh, cube, and again S, holding control, scale it like that, so it's gonna be same size as our torso. 1 on your numpad, and just G for grab, and just move it. It's gonna be our head. Let's go back again to our torso and add modifier and bevel modifiers. The same as last time. Disabled clamp overlap, type 0.01, and angle. And change sharp to patch, and add some more segments. So nice round corners. Okay, now let's back to that hand. I'm gonna select that cube, press tab for edit mode, and have a face selection mode. Just select one face, E to inset like that. Press 1 on your numpad to see better, and E to extrude all the way here. Let's set all the way here. All right, let's go to the modifier tab again and add a bevel modifier. Geometry, clamp overlap disable, patch, and 0.01, and add a couple of segments. Okay. And what we're gonna do now is mirror that hand to the other side. So press Ctrl A to apply location. So we're gonna reset that origin into our world origin, and just when you go back to modifier and add mirror modifier, that's gonna be mirrored on the other side. All right then. Now we can add select. So as we see here, we can add this kind of shape. So let's get going. Again, Shift A to add a cube. S for scale, holding Control, scale it like that. One on numpad to orthographic view, G for grab, as Z, and just move it somewhere here. Okay. Now, of course, we need to scale it x-axis, so S, X, and holding Control, scaled it. So up to here. All right, now we have to apply the scale, so Control A and apply a scale. All right, now we go in tab to edit mode, going to or here for edge selection mode and select that edge and this edge, and press Ctrl B for bevels and just move your mouse like that and scrolling your wheel on your mouse, just add extra cuts, bevel cuts, okay, like that, and tap for object mode, right mouse click and shades, right mouse click, shade smooth, going up to the object data properties, normals and auto smooth, and also modifier, add modifier, bevel modifier. And this time we're just gonna reduce this amount to up to 001, add some more segments. We don't need to because it's nice round shape, so don't need to disable the clamp overlap this time. All right, let's start doing our legs. So one on numpad to the front orthographic view, Shift A, mesh, cube, S for scale, holding Control, scale to our size, and one again, G for grab. Just move this cube somewhere in here like so, so you can like overhanging on this edge. G for grab, Z to move it along only Z axis. Okay, like that. Hold Control A, apply scale, go into edit mode by pressing tab, have an edge selection mode, select this edge and select that edge on the back, Control B for bevel, and just drag your mouse like that. Okay, that's enough. And now it's going 3 or to face selection mode, select this face, 1 on your numpad, G for grab, a Z, and just move it up to here. And now again press E to extrude a little further down, and E again and extrude to here. Now we're gonna press Ctrl R to add some loop cut. We're gonna add loop cut this way, so like that. Just press left mouse button and press right mouse button right now. Okay, so I'm gonna snap straight in the center of this. Pressing for a face selection mode, select this face, this one, and that one, and also the 2 on the back. And now press Alt and E, and we're gonna extrude along normals and just extrude a little bit, like so. There we have our leg. We can add, of course, the bevel modifier to it. Now we need to use the disabled clamp overlap 0.01 like before, add some more segments and change meter outer to punch. And also you can shade smooth, so right mouse click button on it, shade smooth, and in an object data properties, normals, auto smooth. All right, and now we have to cut that kind of shape. That's why we enable the pull tool add-on, because that's going to be very helpful right now. So one for front orthographic view. Shift A, we're gonna add cube. And now as for scale, along x-axis only, so S and X, we'll go up to, say, up to here. Now we're gonna G for grab, Z, and we're gonna move this cube up to here. So that's gonna be cube what we're gonna cut with. So have this cube selected, press Shift, select our leg, and now press Ctrl and minus on your numpad. That's gonna have this cut. And now because we've got the bolt tool, you can always G for grab and move where you want to have that cut done. But in my case, it's in perfect position. So what we're gonna do now, select our leg, go into modifier tab, and as you see here is our bolt tool modifier. We can press here and apply it. So now you can select that cube, press X and just delete it because we already got our shape what we want to do, what we like to cut. Okay, and now of course we want to mirror it on this leg on other side. So let's select that leg, Ctrl A, and apply a location to reset that origin. Okay, and now to modifier tab, let's use mirror modifier. So you get our leg. So our character nearly ready, and now we want to cut them hands in here. So again, Shift A, add some cube, and this time we're gonna scale it without holding Control, just S, and just scale it up to here. So it's gonna be a bit bigger than our shape. And as a Z, scale it down like so, and press / on your keyboard to go to isolation mode, so you can only see this shape, and Ctrl A, apply scale. Now tap for edit mode, Ctrl R, we're gonna add some loop cuts this way. Scroll your mouse wheel up to 5, so you can see 5 yellow lines. Just left mouse twice, and now we can have edge selection modes. Just select the first, the second, third, and the fifth edge on bottom and on top. As for scale, a Z to scale only along Z axis. Let's say like that. Tap for object mode, / back from isolation mode. Now 1 on your numpad, G for grab, and just place it somewhere here. S for scale because it's too tall. So scale along Z axis, so S and Z. G for grab, and like that. And S and a Y, scale it that way as well, just to have it only slightly bigger than our arm, like that. Have this selected, select, hold it Shift and select our arm, and Control and minus on your numpad. That's gonna make a cut. If it looks okay, you can always select in this object G and move it all around, but it's fine in my case. Maybe a bit left, so GX, I'm gonna move it that way a bit. Okay, so now if you're happy, just go to that arm, shoulder, and just apply this Boolean modifier. Apply, and you can delete that. Okay. Alright, so we've got our character ready. What I would like to do is just scale him down a bit. So press 1 on your numpad, drag and select everything. G for grab, Z, just place him on the x-axis. And now period on your keyboard and 3D cursor. Press S and just scale it down along 3D cursor, like so. Period on your numpad to have a focus on the object, like that. And now we can add some textures. So let's start from the head. I'm gonna select that head. We're gonna go to the material properties and we're gonna add new material. And to see the material what we apply, we need to go to the material preview. And now we can actually change the color of this material. So I'm gonna use like a pinkish or a skin tone. Okay. And always add some roughness to it or reduce roughness, depends how you want. For skin, I will leave it like a halfway. You can make it metallic or non-metallic. You can do all kind of stuff in here with your material. I'm gonna keep it like that. Now we're gonna go to edit mode and we're gonna select all faces by pressing 3. Select all faces where we want to have hair. Holding shift, select everything where you want to add different color. Then to go to top view and just select all them like so. And now add plus for new material and new. And I'm going to choose brown. Go for brown and press assign. And I'm going to reduce some roughness so it's going to be more shinier. Okay. Now let's choose this face and add another material. It's going to be eyes, so let's add a blue and assign. And this one I'm going to extrude that a little backwards. So if we extrude and just new material, new and white, assign. Okay, and the blue you want to reduce some roughness, of course. Right, now nose. So select one top face, Control and plus on your numpad, gonna select that extra loop cut. Plus new, like a very bright blue, very bright brown, sorry. Right, and here, same, select them 3 faces and Control plus on your numpad, gonna select extra loop. So you don't have to select manually all around. And plus, and actually not now, I'm gonna use same material what I use for hair. So material 002, assign, gonna have same material. Right, now we're gonna go to torso, tab mode. You got all them selected, so keep them selected for time being. Just create new material. And I'm gonna have like a bright blue t-shirt. All right, and now we have them selected. So what we can do is to add new material, new, and just choose a skin material what we, and just assign. So now we're gonna go to arm. I'm gonna choose that skin material, so I'm gonna apply to our mesh. And now tap for edit mode, select one face, Control plus twice. So you're gonna select all the loop cuts. And here we can choose the, oh sorry, make mistake, skin material again. And we have to add plus, and we can choose now where, sorry, that t-shirt material. Okay, like so, and of course roughness, reduce the roughness of the t-shirt. The one is so rough. Okay, tap to object mode, and now we can select this new, and just gonna go for dark blue. All right, and legs, I'm gonna choose them dark blue material. And of course we need some shoes, so go in here, select them two faces, plus plus, and deselect this one, deselect this one, select that one, that one, that one, select all them manually. All right, and add plus and new, and just really like a grayish color. Aside. All right, we can of course play with roughness. Reduce the roughness a bit, same in here. And okay, so we got our model ready. It's ready for render. Don't forget to save your file by going File and Save, or just press Ctrl S and choose the location where we want to have a select. Just location where we want to have this file saved. And now I'm gonna back to this t-shirt. I don't really like the color, so I'm gonna go for a darker and a roughness. This t-shirt I'm gonna add a bit more rough to it. White and white. White, we can play with our white. Reduce roughness more. All right. Okay, if we're happy with it, we can start rendering. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna add some plane. So Shift A, mesh and plane. I'm gonna scale that up. That's gonna be our floor. 7 for your numpad. Go to top view, tap for edit mode, and 2 for edge selection mode. Select this edge. E to extrude. To here, let's set. Now we can G for grab, Z. We can leave that backdrop up, and select this edge. Control B. And add with scroll. We'll add some extra loop cuts, like so. Now back to object mode. Right mouse click, shade smooth, and of course we can add some color. Greenish. Okay, I'm fine with this one. And now Shift A, we're gonna add camera. And if you press Ctrl Alt and 0 on your numpad, that your viewport gonna lock to camera view. So your camera will lock to viewport view. And you can come to view tab, and if you enable camera to view, you can like move around. You can always press on your mesh and period on your numpad to like orbit around your object or shot. So for something like this, you can always select your backdrop and just scale it if it. Okay. Now I'll go to the render preview by pressing this button here. Okay. And we're going to go to render tab, and I'm going to change render engine from Eevee to and device, and use my GPU. You can use CPU if you don't have any GPU in your computer. Feature set, I'm gonna go for experimental, and samples are gonna reduce samples to 200 and make sure that the noise is ticked on. And it's a bit dark, so we're gonna add some light, of course. So Shift A light, I'm gonna add area light first, G for grab, and Z, I'm gonna put that light above our character. And I'm gonna tick the camera to view so I can move the viewport without moving our camera. And I'm gonna select that line G, Y, so I'm gonna move that line across Y axis, and R, X, and press period and come back to median point, and R, X, rotate along x-axis. Like so. You can always go to the light properties and just increase the value of the light, so power of the light, and also add some different color of it. I'm gonna add a bit warmer color. All right, 0 again on your notepad, so you're gonna snap to your camera view like so. You can always take this. All right, I'm gonna add extra light, so Shift A. This time I'm gonna add the point light, G, and just move it behind my character, G and Y. So 0 again, and I'm gonna reduce the strength of this light. Have like a nice light. So maybe another one, Shift A, light, point, G for grab, and yeah, you can always change the color. Something like this, all right. And before we're gonna hit render, you can always change the resolution of your final image. This one is a 920 by 1080p, so it's like a full high definition. I'm gonna increase that by multiply by 2, so just type times 2, and same in here, times 2. All right, and now we're ready to render it. So just press a render tab and a render image. Voila, our render is completed. You can always go here to image and save however you like. Okay, that's it guys for today's video. I hope you learned something, and I hope it wasn't so difficult for first time, and see you next time with another tutorial. So see you later guys.